Hey everybody, Jeff Miller here, head of GMAT and GRE instruction. In today's video, we are going to discuss GMAT versus GRE. Luckily, it's a more simple conversation than what you may have heard about 3, 4, 5 years ago. So let's get into that right now. First consideration you might be thinking about if you're considering GMAT or GRE is, hey, do my programs accept the GRE? Business schools accept the GMAT. We know that, so it comes down to the GRE because it's a newer exam for business schools somewhat. Good news. Most schools accept the GRE. In fact, I couldn't even tell you one off of the top of my head that doesn't, but you don't have to take my word for it. Go to the program website, see if there's any sort of criteria for GMAT or GRE. Give the folks at admissions a call if you don't see it, and then be very certain about if they're accepting both tests. And if they do, at that point, which we'll talk about soon, it's about which test is just better for you. The next consideration, do my desired schools prefer one exam over the other? Because that's another thing to think about. If admissions says, I would rather you take the GMAT versus the GRE, then you want to take the GMAT because they're preferring it. Now, most admissions will tell you they don't prefer one exam over the other. You can call them to confirm it, and you can do some more digging. Go on forums such as the Reddit's MBA forum, make some posts, talk to alumni, current students at the school, get all the data you can to ensure that you're taking the right test for admissions for your desired schools. The next consideration, once you've decided on, hey, business schools, it's even Steven, it's a 50-50 split, they don't care about either test, what's the next thing you got to figure out? Which test is better for you? Which one do you perform better on? Which one fits your strengths better? Which one helps your weaknesses better? So that's a whole different process. Now, what that process is you sitting down, getting a feel for the GRE, then getting a feel for the GMAT, and then taking official practice tests of both, and then seeing in your gut which one you think you can improve on more. And you can read about it. There's content differences. For example, in the GMAT focus, there's no vocab, whereas in GRE, it's a test that's based largely on vocab on the verbal side. They both have critical reasoning. They both have reading comprehension. The GMAT focus has a section all on data insights, which is made up mostly of graphs, tables, etc. Some of those are tested on the GRE, but they're housed in the quant section. The new GRE is shorter now, so it's shorter than the GMAT focus. Do you like that better? Do you like the fact that in the GMAT you get to mark and review 3 questions, go back to them, versus the GRE, you can go back and review any question you want in a given section? These are all things you have to consider in addition to what is the scoring looking like on each practice test, which one did you feel better about, and then how does that relate to what you need to do for admissions. It's a big decision, so take your time doing it. Take the time you need to take these practice tests, and then you can decide. Another consideration, and this is a big one, is where are you going to go to school? Are you just considering MBA programs, or are you considering graduate programs, one-year programs, in addition to MBA programs? Because so far in this video, we've really just related this to business school, but I've talked to a lot of students over the years who say, well, I'm considering an MBA, but also this graduate program, and this graduate program only accepts the GRE, whereas my business schools accept both. Well, if that's the case, and you're considering both programs, one of which accepts only the GRE, well, then your choice is simple. You got to take the GRE so that it's relevant for the graduate programs and your MBA program. So sometimes the decision of which one to take will be made for you based on the programs you plan to apply to. The last thing I want to say is just do your research. Don't assume that one test is easier than the other. Don't assume one test is better for you than another just because of what people are saying. Do your research, take the practice test, get a feel for each one, and just make sure you're taking the exam that's going to put you in the best possible position to succeed. That concludes today's video. I had a blast talking to you about thinking about the GMAT versus GRE for business school. If you liked today's video, please subscribe to our channel in the comments. Let us know if there's more videos you want us to do in the future. Thanks for watching, everybody, and we will talk soon.